Start. All right, I'm going. My mic's a
I'm
little
recording as
sensitive.
well.
All right, cool. Welcome everybody. Welcome, come one, come all, to the 11th episode of the Deserted Gamer podcast. This I cannot believe that we have done this. So we do once a month, and that means that the next one will be a year. I cannot believe it was a year
Damn.
when I texted you, "Hey, you want to start a podcast?"
Yeah, man. Almost as old as I am.
Yeah, 1 year old. um, so,
Almost two.
oh wow, dude, proud of you.
Yeah.
That was a great joke from Scott the Waz
Yeah.
in his live service videos, where it's like the development of Skull and Bones took 7 years, and he's like, "Oh, and now the game can go to second grade."
I love
Yeah.
Scott the Waz.
Oh my god, yeah. It's just that he's just, for people like me and you and our good friend Devin, it's he's probably the most relatable YouTuber out there.
Except for me, because whenever he does he's not a JRPG guy, I'm like, but I am a JRPG.
Well, yeah.
And
I
then
get
have
that.
and then I have I almost said falling out, like we know each other.
We had a falling out. Yeah, me and Scott the Waz, we go way back, but we had a rough patch when he talked about
Yeah.
not liking Persona 5. But anyway.
All right.
All right,
yeah.
on to some topics.
That was a great intro.
Yeah. What do you want to talk about today, Brian? Do you want to talk about the Nintendo Music app? So go ahead and look. I have the subscription, like the Nintendo Live or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, I think it's
SNES
called
Live.
Nintendo Music. Oh no,
Yeah,
no,
I have.
the online stuff. It's NSO.
Yeah, I have SNES Live.
Nintendo
So
Switch,
anyway,
Nintendo. You're playing specifically with people on Xbox 360.
yeah, and
That's all you can play with.
right, and but I believe that I get access to the Nintendo Music app but from having that. I got to tell you something, Brian. I've never downloaded it, so tell me about it.
It's ass. It's
Of
like,
course, it is.
first off, like it was actually a big reason to push me into getting NSO, because I was thinking about it and I was like, oh, Nintendo is finally putting their music on a streaming app. It's unfortunate that it's a different streaming app, so now I have to switch apps from my, because I have this playlist. I don't know if I've ever sent it to you, but I have this playlist that's like, let me actually check the time. I think it's like 48 hours long.
It's on Spotify and it's all Sonic
81 hours
soundtracks.
long. It's 81 hours long. It's a soundtrack of like all different video game music that I just really like. I
Right,
just keep
on
putting in there every time I play a
Spotify.
new game. Yeah, on Spotify. So
Right.
that's my main go-to one for listening to video game music. So it would suck to switch to the Nintendo Music app. Um, but yeah, it was that was a thing to push me into getting it, because I was like, maybe they'll finally put on some of these music that I really like a lot of the Zelda music, a lot of like Mario
Right.
Galaxy, Mario Sunshine,
Yeah, which is just
Xenoblade
prime.
Chronicles. Yeah,
It's orchestral
and then
music. I mean, it's not even like video game music. Like, yeah, it was using a video game, but it's a damn symphony, bro.
yeah. Well, I mean, even like the older Zelda music too. Like Ocarina of Time, like Sheik's theme and
Of
all that.
course.
But then, yeah, they like released the app and it had like 8 soundtracks on it, maybe.
Yeah.
And then
Zoinks.
they've been releasing them piecemeal
Right.
after the fact, right? And
Yeah.
I think that one of the newest ones, they released Kirby, but they released like half the soundtrack or something like that, and they're like, we're releasing the rest of the
God.
music later on this year. It's like,
Define Kirby.
why?
Define Kirby. Like what are we talking
The
here?
newest
Like
one.
Fountain of Dream. Oh, okay.
The Forgotten Swallow, whatever the hell it's called.
Is that the cool 3D one?
I think so. Whatever one came out on the Switch, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like what, 2021, 2022, maybe?
Did you? There's no way it's called the Forgotten Swallow, bro.
I have no idea what it's called. I own it. I don't remember what it's called. I haven't played it. I have not played a Kirby game.
The Forgotten
look
Swallow
up-
sounds like something that
let's look
happens
up-
in a back alley, man. There's no way.
It could be. You never know.
Um, So, okay, in case you folks don't know, Spotify, despite being a platform that I have a lot of issues with and I don't have anymore, Spotify has a crap ton of video game music on it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Jet Set Radio soundtrack, a ton, just a ton of Sega is always what I used to listen to on there. Jet Set Radio, a bunch of Sonic music,
Yeah,
just
a
is
lot,
all on
all,
Spotify already.
yeah, pretty much all the
And
Falcom soundtracks, and I think
yeah, some
Atlas is even
obscure
pushing a
stuff.
lot of their stuff on there too.
Atlas is owned by Sega.
Yeah,
So there you
I forgot
go.
about that.
That would
Yeah,
be what that's them pushing. It's if like Jet Set Radio's on there, I'm not surprised that Atlas is also
yeah,
getting a lot of their stuff on there too because of the ownership. So, which is neat to see. Kind of Nintendo's old rival innovating more
yeah.
on this front than Nintendo. And
Yeah,
I mean, God, man.
Sega's got its own issues though.
Of
We
course,
don't
but this
gotta
is
get
just
into, but yeah,
this is the modern era of Genesis does what Nintendo don't, right? You can listen
yeah.
to Jet Set Radio on Spotify. You can't listen to fucking Delfino Plaza on Spotify.
You can't even listen to Delfino Plus on the fucking Nintendo Music app.
Yeah, well,
I don't even think it's on there.
if
Which
I
is my
can't
issue.
listen to then like what's the point?
Oh yeah, no, because that's like a song that makes life worth living, you know?
Yeah, it's the only
Um,
song that actually exists.
yeah, and nothing else.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I'm just really upset there's no Xenoblade music on there too. Like
That
that's
is
one of
also
the big ones.
busted. That is
'Cause,
so
like
busted.
Xenoblade Chronicles has some of the best music.
They better put fucking Black Tar on there from Xenoblade X, all right? Hello?
Xenoblade X.
Is anyone
That
there?
was gonna be. That was gonna be. That Xenoblade X is gonna be a lot harder to get on. I understand that because it's Hiroyuki Sawano, so
Uh-huh.
I get that. Even though that soundtrack is amazing, it would suck.
Yeah,
but I
minus
really
the
want it
meme
on
of
there.
Black Tar, minus the and look, I'll be honest, man. I love that song mainly because it just makes me nostalgic about the end of high
Yeah,
school, but I genuinely love the song Black Tar. I know it's so stupid with the "I need a bigger gun," like it's so dumb, but I love it. But like the background music and stuff, all the area themes are
yeah.
ridiculously good in
The
that game.
title screen music
Yeah.
where you sit on there and they got like the choir coming in and
Yeah,
the
yeah,
very
yeah.
like Hiroyuki Sawano has such a distinctive style,
Yeah.
right? Like I knew it was him going into it, but if nobody told me it was him, I would have been like, "Is that fucking Hiroyuki Sawano doing the soundtrack?"
Right,
Like I would have
right.
clocked in
I would say
immediately.
that, like, Uematsu, like Nobuo Uematsu, like you can tell when it's him type of deal.
Yeah, but I mean, like, Sawano has like a very he likes. It's kind of like Yoko Shimomura, like a lot of her more modern soundtracks. She likes a lot of strings, like
Yeah.
if it's got a crap ton of strings, and you're like, this is Yoko Shimomura. Hiroki Sawano, I feel like loves the. You can correct me from this
Uh-huh.
because I don't have any sort of background in music, so I don't know the terms.
Oh,
But it's like
sure.
when the music kind of pauses for a second, and then you got like not really like the beat drop, but the huge, like, explosion of sound.
That suffices. That's a sufficient
Yeah.
description.
Hiroyuki Sawano loves doing that. Like it's
Yes,
in
yes.
so much stuff that he
and
does.
and there now that you mention that, I'm thinking literally of examples in Xenoblade X of that happening,
Yeah.
and it's like every single area has
Yeah.
that. And in addition to that, he also loves. Is anyone there? I need a bigger gun.
It's like, have you ever? This is so off topic, but have you ever heard "Burning Man Soul"
What is
from
that?
Persona?
Now?
It's
Oh well,
I might have
yes.
sent it to you before. It's the
If it's from Persona, I've heard it. I've listened to like all those
it was from
soundtracks.
this like obscure Persona anime that's
Uh-huh.
not even connected to any of the games. I think it's called
Oh.
like Trinity Soul or something like that.
Maybe not then.
The whole point the song itself, like the person who actually composed it, or like the beat for the song,
Right?
they did a really good job at that. It's very good. It's really jazzy. It's great. They took as a sample the lyrics, like
Uh-huh.
a verse that somebody just rapped, It is so fucking bad.
Um,
Like the opening lines of the song, you'll probably see the meme out there is "I'm in the house like carpet."
oh no! Oh no!
It's
I love the
so bad.
the Persona 4 Arena intro song is really cheesy. It's called like Best Friends or whatever. Like literally like a good lord. From the title alone, here we go. It's a fighting game, and the intro
Yeah.
song is called Best Friends.
The worst one though is oh my god, what the hell is it called? It's do you remember Shadow World, the opening for Persona 4 Golden?
Of course.
There was a on the Persona 4 dancing game. I don't know if you remember
Yep.
this.
I
They
got
had
that
a
game. I
remix
had
of
that
that.
thing pre-ordered, my guy. I loved that game when it came out.
They had a remix of that. I believe it's called the DD Mouse remix.
Yep.
It is
Yep.
so fucking bad. Like,
Yep.
it-
Some of
the
those
music
remixes
does
yeah.
not match up. It's like the I always point out, like, I don't know if you ever heard the Persona 5 dancing opening.
I never played
for
P5 dancing. I only played P4.
I don't know if you ever heard the opening though, but it's they take a part of the original Persona 5 opening, you know, the wake up, get up, get up.
Oh
dance.
yeah, I probably have heard it at
Like that
least
shit?
once. At least once.
They
but yeah.
put that over a part of the opening, and the
Ah,
music does not match.
it's just bad. Yeah.
It's like somebody was like had to edit the sound clips, and their mouse slipped and put it out of sync.
Yeah, right. They accidentally put the track over one of the like
Yeah.
straight up. Oh man, that's funny. Yeah, and I think that this whole first topic here just goes to show how much music means to us in video games. And as I've
Oh, yeah.
half jokingly said many times on my channel, like video game music is more important than video games themselves to me at times. And a great example of that, Brian, is when I went for my walk, when I went to go walk and do my errand, I am listening to a grand video titled All Nintendo eShop Themes.
That's that kind of music that like gets you through a day of work.
Yeah, I legitimately, it's funny you say that. I put on playlists of like that kind of stuff all day at my job. I listen to like Nintendo eShop themes all day.
Yeah, it's dude. I love that. Like I love there's like a video of someone compiled like all the Pokemon Town music throughout
Yep.
the whole series.
Excellent
Listen
stuff.
to that shit.
And
Some of like
I'm
so
sure it's
good.
come up in my related videos for, Nintendo Chill Fruitiger Arrow Mix eShop
Yeah.
themes. Um it's great, but what's not great? The game Wii Music. Anyway, or the Nintendo Music app, which I knew it was going to suck because we're talking about a company that like still doesn't have achievements in their games, whereas achievements have been a thing for like
so stupid.
achievements have been a thing for 20 years. And we're talking
Yeah.
about the same company that made you have a goddamn friend code for Mario Kart Wii and then a different friend code for Super Smash Bros. Brawl. And then we're talking about the same company that just, in general, just is so poor at adapting to the modern trend. And I don't know. I don't know what gives. Because people, like, I feel like it's a little off base for people to be like, oh, it's just a bunch of old Japanese men there. That's why it's bad. Is Sony not also like old Japanese men though? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think like like that statement that like that it's a bunch of old Japanese men is like I feel like it comes from a lot of people who, first off, it kind of sounds a little
It's a
rough.
little racist. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
But I've definitely
little-
heard that blame cast before.
I've
It's
heard
like,
that. I've heard that blame cast, and it's like slightly racist, but it's also used in a weird way to like kind of defend their decisions. When
right.
I think it's just like the same thing as like you have it over here with a lot of companies where it's just like people. I think some of the people at top are just out of touch. Like,
yeah,
they just
like
they are not in tune with like, because I don't blame like any of the Nintendo developers and stuff. I don't think it's up to them at all. They're just doing their job, which is just making the games.
yeah.
They're not
I
setting
think
the
it's
pricing. They're not the ones that are like like we're not gonna bring over Super Mario Sunshine actually onto the Switch. We're just gonna put it on the 3D All Stars collection, like,
Which you can't buy.
Yeah, which you can't buy after what was it, like a year?
I think it was a few months, dog.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was the whole year for the Mario anniversary, or whatever.
Oh,
I think
maybe.
I thought the Fire Emblem one was like a month.
That I know, yeah, I might be mixing up with that, but anyway, a very limited time, and it's bad and stupid and whatever.
Yeah, the stupider one was for the Fire Emblem because that was a digital game.
yeah. Well,
was it like a limited? Whatever.
I think it's just you can't say it's any kind of like cultural barrier or anything because like I said, there's obviously very innovative Japanese companies run by old Japanese men, but there's also so many American companies that are really out of touch, if not worse than Nintendo.
Yeah.
A la Microsoft. So I just think that a lot of big business is so out of touch now.
Yeah,
and I mean maybe it always has been, but I don't know if it quite felt this bad.
Yeah, I think some people can't, and this is not like I'm not like trying to turn my nose up at people or anything, but I do feel like some people just in their minds and their hearts, whatever, can't separate the company from the stuff that they play that they really enjoy. Right. And I think like a good way to get around that is to just think, well, it's a company. It's a multifaceted thing. The guys at the top making these horrible decisions are not the same people that, made Super Mario Galaxy.
Right.
They're not the same people who... I mean, it might be like one guy on the team or something.
But it's especially not the guy playing the damn violin on Mario Galaxy.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's not the
can
guy,
we appreciate that guy?
The cello on Gusty Garden Galaxy.
Exactly. I was literally gonna bring that exact example up.
It's so like it's that like because like I get it, like not to bring Trails into every single podcast episode we do.
I mean, it wouldn't be talking to Brian without it. So,
yeah, absolutely. I can't shut up about it. It's a problem. Anyway,
we need to have a Trailservention.
Yeah, we gotta talk. It's too much Trails. You made an hour video that could have been longer, but you made it spoiler free.
Look, Brian, here's a hot take for you. It's okay that you like something. I know that the world often tells you that's a bad thing, but it's okay that you like something and you like it a lot.
I'm fine with liking something. It's just that when I talk to people sometimes about it, I can hear their eyes glaze over.
I mean, and it might happen with me, but it's just because I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
I also just am prone to being glazed on many topics. So.
There you go.
I am, sometimes I lose my focus.
I hate you for that joke. Anyway, I don't remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, like I like Trails. I love Ys. I like Falcom. They make some bad fucking business decisions, especially
every company does. Yeah.
Especially like a few years ago, like with the whole. I mean, I don't want to get into like friggin' drama because I don't know much about the whole situation, but like the whole thing that happened with Sound Team JDK, and like that's why the music is like, while it's still pretty good, it's not as good as it used to be for Falcom games.
Right.
Because of what seems like jealousy from one of the higher ups, but yeah, no, it's like you can completely separate them. Like
right.
I know it's sometimes hard to it's hard to get it out of your mind, but you can. It's possible.
Yeah. It is very possible to separate art from artists. I mean, here's the thing, man. And if you can't do that, then eventually you're just going to like nothing. Because every single person who's ever made something has done something that you won't agree with. Or that that doesn't line up with your morals. Like, nobody's going to be exactly lined up with...
Yeah.
morals, and
I think there's levels to it, like if somebody's
talking about
like some horrible shit, you're like, okay, and like obviously like there is like, because there is more nuance to this topic, because like there is like, especially for certain art, it is hard to separate some views from it. Like you can go back and like read certain books or like watch a movie
Yeah.
and be like, oh, I can see how like some of their views seeped into this, and now it kind of taints the thing. Now they know the context.
Right.
So that is entirely possible. But in the context
yeah.
of a video game company making poor decisions for consumers,
Yeah.
yeah, you can definitely separate the art from the artist.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, bro, when I was 5, did I think about the Yamauchi family and what Nintendo was doing? And, like, well, the Yamauchis might not have been in it by then. But anyway, like, was I like, oh, man, the N64, damn this thing for not using CDs. No, I don't care. It had Diddy Kong Racing on it, it's like, and that's something that was a part of my childhood, and that's that. I'm not out here thinking about decisions that were made, and that's that and the other. It's really difficult. It's really nuanced. The whole separate art from artist thing. It's really difficult.
Yeah, but what we don't need to separate is bad business decisions. And on the topic of bad business decisions, game key cards.
Yeah, dude, what a segue.
Yeah, you like that segue?
Dude, what a fucking segue.
How are we feeling about game key cards in pretty much every
So
vast
give me the
majority of
rundown. You're a
non-first-party
little
ones?
more tuned in with stuff like this because I kind of intentionally live that Patrick Star lifestyle.
Down to rock. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So tune me in. I know the game key cards basically are like it's like a, what is it, like an SD card that you can only use once? It's like a non-used game type of thing.
No, so you can read it's essentially the code, the little cardboard code in the box, but it's on like a Switch quote unquote cartridge, right? Like it's still shaped like a cartridge that you put it in and you digitally download your game. It doesn't got
So you still have to
shit
download
on
it.
there. It doesn't got
Right.
jack shit on there except essentially the code that you would have.
Right. So
download digitally.
in 15
the-
years, when the Switch 2 is dead and there's no online support for it anymore, these will be completely
Yeah,
useless.
there's a kaput. The quote unquote upside is that you can like trade it, you can give it to a friend, and they can plug it in their system and it'll still work. It's not like a one.
So the download code is infinite. It's not like when you get the 2-day live code in your copy of Modern Warfare 2 and you're like, oh god, I bought this used. I hope it still works. Like,
yeah, it's not one of those. So, and I saw somebody mention.
Why can't they just fit the damn game on a fucking SD card? But anyway.
Yeah, it's really upsetting because it's like I think they have like 3 sizes or something like that. I'm not fully in tune with this. It's something like they got like 3 sizes, 64 gigabytes
for
is, like,
Switch,
the biggest one.
Yeah.
And then
For Switch cartridges, right?
And they're like more expensive. They're like way more expensive than discs.
Yes.
And it's like, and
classic Nintendo, still making decisions like the N64 era.
it sucks because like again, we've talked about this. I think the last episode. You've got games like the Bravely Default remaster, which is using a game key card, which is not surprising. Square has done this. Like Chrono Cross, you can only get a physical version in Japan. They
remastered Chrono Cross?
Yeah, they like a while ago.
Patrick Star over here. Yeah.
Well, peek your star head out every once in a while.
my pointy head out.
Yeah. And then the Chrono Cross, like a lot of the Final Fantasy remasters, you can only get in Japan. The Dragon Quest 1 through 3, like Switch versions, they had a physical release in Japan. No, nowhere else. It's like Square Enix doing this is not a surprise, but still, it's a 3DS game. It's a remaster of a 3DS game,
and the 3DS game was on the damn cartridge.
And then on the flip side, right, you have Cyberpunk 2077. Fully on the cartridge, the entire game,
which is hilarious. It's hilarious. That game's massive.
It is. It was massive before all the new stuff they added.
Right.
And
it was massive when it was half finished.
Yeah, and it's like, that's on that full game is on the cartridge, and then you can't put a 3DS game. Like seriously, but then
strange.
It's just upsetting because I think a lot of people expected when it was announced this would be a very case by case thing of like, certain publishers are gonna do it, like Square Enix, or certain developers are gonna do it, like Square Enix. Okay, fine, but they've been
shitty company. We get it. Yeah.
Like you can't even get Kingdom Hearts on the Switch natively. It's a streaming game, which still sucks.
God.
And like,
I don't even like Kingdom Hearts, and I feel bad for that.
yeah, that one, it still sucks. That one, awful. But like, like you expect it for stuff like that, and then they announce like the Switch lineup, and it's like you look at it, and it's like an astounding number of games are using the keyboard.
So Mario Kart, is it Mario Kart?
First party games are all on cart. Those are fine. But
Oh,
it's
really?
essentially like it's like 90% of the non-first party games
Except for
are using
Cyberpunk.
keyboard card. Except for Cyberpunk. I think Cyberpunk might be the only one.
Oh my god, what the fuck? All right.
I actually have to. I
not buying
might have
this
to look that up.
console.
But yeah, it's ridiculous. And I heard a very great point by another creator, where she mentioned how like it's not good. Like this whole game key card thing isn't good for either people who want digital or people who want physical. Because like people who want
Yes.
physical want the whole thing on the cartridge. Like that's the whole point. Of
And
having
people who
this,
want
they
digital
wanna
don't
own
want
their
to own
shit.
something.
And people who want digital want the
don't want the-
convenience, and they don't want
Right.
the
They
case.
don't the plastic
So who
taking
is
up
this
room on a
for?
shelf. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
for nobody. Yeah, big facts.
It's for the
It's good
people,
for
and I'm
literally
telling
no
you who
one.
It's for. It's for the people who will buy a Switch because their kid wants to play Mario, and they aren't really in tune with a lot of the video game
Right,
stuff, and
right.
they just don't care. They just
They
want
don't-
their
it's-
kid to
it's-
play the
yeah.
game. They want their kid to be able to play. I don't know, Street Fighter. I don't know.
And they'll
like,
never-
Street
they'll-
Fighter 6.
They'll never go
And they don't
back
care
to the
little
console in
white
15
blurb that
years.
says game key card. They're like, oh, what does that mean? I don't
Right.
know. Like
They'll never
as
go
long as it
back.
works. Yeah.
They'll never go back to the console either.
Yeah,
in
and like the
15
people
years.
who destroy their consoles after they're done using them and the new one comes out and all that. Stuff.
Right. Like people who threw out their NESs, you know? Like,
And like, yeah, it's just, and it's upsetting because, and I've had this sentiment for a while, and it's just really compounded recently with all this stuff.
yeah.
Where games, like, again, I think you should, if you can, try to support all physical media. Like,
Yeah.
try to buy physical music, try to buy books. Like,
We are
especially
big on our
libraries and
vinyls.
stuff.
Me
Yeah,
and my
vinyls.
girlfriend are big on vinyls. Yeah.
Yeah, vinyl, CD, DVDs, Blu-ray, even VHSs if you got them. Like,
And we have
anything.
a local shop for vinyls too, and
Yeah.
it feels great every time we go.
Yeah.
It's in some big mall and outdoor mall
I
because
mean,
it's Arizona.
not to
And
be like a
every time we go
pompous-
there, we're like record
to be
store. Got to do it. Go.
not to be like a pompous snob, but it does sound sound better.
Yeah,
It
well,
looks
our
great.
record player's not great, like, but we just like it's just kind of makes it an event, you know.
Yeah.
I like that. You know, I have the original Panzer Dragoon saga, or not saga, but just the original Panzer Dragoon soundtrack on a fucking vinyl, and it is the coolest thing ever.
I have the entire Trails in the Sky trilogy all on vinyl.
Excellent.
their soundtracks.
Excellent.
But
You know the game Fury? You know the game Fury?
Is that the fighting game? Fury,
It's like a boss battle kind of. I think it's a lot of like I haven't played it too much, TBH, but it has a lot of like Carpenter Brute and like just like hardcore like synthwave like fast like music, you know, and it's just like a game that's like this game's hard, you know. And it's spelled Furi, and it had a vinyl that was like pretty limited, I think, and I do own it. My grandma imported that shit from Germany for me way back in the day, and yeah, man, that was it's so cool. The discs are bright blue and bright pink, like it's got that kind of vibe going. It's great. I love my vinyl game soundtracks, and that's a whole damn. You just did your Steelbook collection. That's the next one.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know what I was saying. Oh yeah, but like support all physical media if you can. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's your decision. I'm not a proponent for destroying digital media or anything like that. I just think more options.
Has a
is
time
good.
and place.
And it's good to own your shit. But I think what's
Yeah.
scary for games is that like unlike every other form of physical media, games have a real danger of like losing physical media.
Yes. Yeah.
To the point because like when I was talking with somebody else about this, I used this example of like if like Kendrick Lamar were to come out with a new album, he could release it on a cassette and you'd still be able to listen to it if you had a cassette player, right?
Yep.
If the next Marvel movie were to, for some reason, like we want to put this on VHS, if you had a VHS player, you could play it. You could play the
And you
newest
go to
Marvel movie on
Goodwill and go
VHS.
fucking find one.
Yeah, good luck finding one, but you could. If PlayStation 6 and the Switch 3 or whatever were to come
Yeah.
out, no physical support at all, and the next God of War game was to come out on the PlayStation 6, they could print
Yeah.
as many discs as they like. That disc will do nothing. It could have the full game on it. That
Yep,
disc will do
yep.
nothing. It's just a frisbee.
I mean,
And it
I'll
would
take a
completely
frisbee.
lose that whole generation for physical media.
Yep. Yep. No,
That's
that's the
upsetting to me.
thing. That's the big thing with it is that there are many, 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 many companies that made VHS players. There's many, many companies that made cassette players, right? And but video games are on specific proprietary hardware, and then when you are someone who collects video games and likes to preserve physical media, you end up having two TV stands in one room because you have to fit all the goddamn consoles on a
Yeah.
shelf somewhere. And it's like, yeah, because if I want to play Knack, I need my PS4.
Yeah, but I mean, it's also like it's also just because like the technology keeps improving. Like you can't play. I'm assuming you wouldn't be able to play God of War Ra's asshole on like a PlayStation 4, right? Like it
Right.
would only be able to use for PlayStation 6, maybe a PlayStation 5. So like
Right. And like you can't play Mario 64 on an NES.
yeah, and it's
Like,
it's
that's what
like
you're
the
getting
technology
at.
completely
Yeah.
changes. Yeah, and
Yeah.
like even if it's the same kind of disc, like it's not gonna.
Well, and it's still there's still weird proprietary stuff with it. Like
Yeah.
the Dreamcast uses like GDRs. Like do you know about this? You ever
No.
hear about this? All right, so instead of like CD-ROMs or DVDs, right?
Yeah.
The Dreamcast uses what I believe is completely proprietary, and they're called GDRs, and they're like gigabit disc ROM, some nonsense, right? And they are really flimsy. They scratch really easily, and a lot of like physical Dreamcast games are pretty high at risk. And you see a lot of people who have modern Dreamcast setups are like using like full like flash drive, EverDrive type of emulation because the discs are at high risk. And
Yeah.
the laser to read them is a specific GDR laser, and it's like good luck fucking finding one. And it's not like a PS1 where you can get like any old CD player laser and slap it in there. I'm kind of exaggerating. I don't think that's true, but you get the
Yeah.
point. And then like
Yeah, it's kind of like it's. I mean, it's a little
And
bit
the
like
Wii U.
the GameCube.
Yep, and the
Little tiny
GameCube and the
discs.
Wii U. And like for some reason, like the Wii and Wii U, like they don't play DVDs and they don't play CDs, but they use discs that look like CDs. And then like
Yeah.
the Wii U can't play Blu-rays, even though the discs are, I think they're Blu-rays, but they're like weirdly, I don't know, man. It's just like, even though they're on disc, it's still proprietary, and it's like, oh my god, this is why.
Yeah.
This is why emulation is very important. I know I've kind of dogged on emulation with you before, and it's like this is again the whole thing where it's like we're not trying to get rid of digital media. It's very, very, very important.
Yeah.
For
Watch is
preservation's sake of
And like
of
it's-
anything.
the thing I hate emulation for is just like if it's a new game, you don't need an emulator for it right now. Like if
Yeah.
it came out yesterday, like I understand like pirating gets into a whole can of worms, right? 'Cause,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
there's-
yeah.
obviously
Pirating's
there's certain
different
things it's
than,
like, yeah.
than having an
But
EverDrive
the-
of Dreamcast games because all the
Yeah.
damn discs don't work anymore.
or wanting to play Pokemon Emerald and not being able to do it because for some godforsaken reason Nintendo won't put on their stupid goddamn online services.
Right. Or Little Samson, a $2,000 NES game. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
But anyway, I also want to address something because I feel like this gets brought up a lot. I see this get brought up a lot with the game keycard thing where
Yeah.
there's a point brought up where I always say, well, games nowadays nowadays you don't get the full game on the disc anyway, so it's the same thing. You have to download it on the internet regardless.
I
And that
see the
take
argument.
is so incorrect.
I see the argument,
Because-
but I understand that that's
Yeah.
very surface level. Continue though.
That is
what's your
not
counter
because like
argument?
there's a whole website you can go to. I believe it's called Can It Play or something like that.
yeah,
where
yeah.
They go through and there's an overwhelming majority of games on discs on modern systems have a playable version on
Yep.
the disc. You can make an argument
That's the
for
thing.
updates, day one updates or
right.
88 updates, whatever. That's fine, but you can still play the game. Even Cyberpunk, if I wanted to play the shitty original version of Cyberpunk, before the hot fixes, Cyberpunk, years down the line when the servers are dead, I could put it into my PlayStation 4, put it in my probably not my PlayStation 5, put it in my PlayStation 4, and still play it.
Yep.
There's a very few games that do not have the full game on the system. They typically tell you. Typically, we're gonna get into that. I'm gonna come back to that point. I'm gonna circle around to it, but
all right.
They typically tell you that. Most games,
good, man. Now we're getting passionate.
I rarely like. I mean, granted, I play a lot of JRPGs, so it's gonna skew my vision a little bit, or my bias a little bit. All those games come on the disc. Again, even if there's updates or whatever, there's still a playable version fully on the disc, and that is for.
Can I give you a
90%? Go ahead.
Easy example: Xenoblade X on the Wii U. Xenoblade X on the Wii U had a lot of enhancements released for it on the eShop because the game was so big and so powerful, and the Wii U is so the Wii U is so damn underpowered that they had to release a lot of stuff on the eShop. And I know that when I got the game in 2015 and was living out my glory days of high school, I for sure that I was playing that version. Now, if you play the Wii U version, if you don't have the Switch one, you're going to be not playing the top-notch stuff because the Wii U eShop's been gone for over a year now. And so, but you can still play the damn game.
Yeah, you can still play it. And it's that's what the case for like 90% of disc-based games nowadays.
Yeah.
So that argument is a moot point. It's just incorrect. I see it going around all the time. It's been going around for years. I don't know how. I think it's this might just
people are maybe confusing it with the installing the game. Like, you know how you have to do
I think
that?
some people install. Yeah, I think people confuse it with that. But I also think some people just only play the games from like EA or Activision. Or the companies that do that, or Microsoft, which are the companies that are the few companies that.
And look, if all you play is your yearly FIFA and COD, are you really worried about the preservation of your fucking games?
Yeah.
No,
but
because you're not. Me and you are not the same, buddy. you know.
And and to circle back to the point, like there are obviously some that do. Like there's a big controversy now about Doom, the newest Doom.
Yeah,
it's got 50 megabytes on the disc.
Right.
Like, that's it. You got to download the rest. The newest Indiana Jones game, which I bought, not realizing that it wasn't fully on the disc. That one isn't fully on the disc, too.
Right. And they're not playable unless you download?
Yeah, and they're not playable unless you download them. And any Call of Duty one, which, by the way, have a huge issue with those because I don't know if I mentioned it. I really only play the campaigns for Call of Duty nowadays.
Well, nowadays, we're not 14 anymore. Yeah.
I do not give two shits about Call of Duty, Black Ops 6's multiplayer or zombies. I don't care.
I've had my
If I wanted to play zombies, I would put a LAN party of Black Ops 1 with all of the World War
Right, we're
maps.
going to do that anyway.
I'm
gonna fly your ass out here.
Yeah.
You know what I did before they closed the Xbox 360 store? I made sure to buy the Resurrection pack for Black Ops 1, and I have it on my hard drive. Made sure to get that back on the hard drive, and because it's a different Microsoft account than when I got it when it came out. So I was like, oh fuck, I need to get this, and I made sure to download Doritos Crash Course too because important game. All right.
Yeah. Obviously, those are the two top priorities. But it's like I don't care about that. I only really care about the campaign, which I understand. I'm in the minority group for that.
But to be nostalgic about COD, that is kind of all we have anymore. And so it just became my default way of going because I mean, dude, I got my fill on the multiplayer. I had like 30 days of playtime on Black Ops 1 and another like 22 on Black Ops 2. And it's like, I think I played the damn game enough. I'm good.
I played that game so much. I knew the maps by like the back of my hand. I could play the games with my eyes closed.
It's one of those things where I can't believe that they're not real places. What do you mean I've never been to Nuketown?
What do you mean
Nuketown isn't real?
What do you mean I've never been to firing range? What is
exactly
this?
Like I can literally tell you every single thing about every building in that map and every version of it because they re-release the same maps every fucking game because they know they can't make any good new ones. So it's like I could tell you all about that, but like You know, man, I'm good.
Rust is where conflicts were resolved.
Yes. It's like, all right, how do we resolve our 8th grade fight?
Yeah, a Rust intervention.
Quick scope.
No
Yeah.
scope. Yeah. Anyway,
Quick scope.
Quick scope. Well, yeah, no scope or quick
No,
scope.
no
Depends
scope
on the
only,
severity
boy.
of
We're
the
going to be
argument.
playing for a while. Yeah.
It depends on the severity of the argument.
Yeah. ACOG only. ACOG quick scope only.
Throwing knives only. That one's fun.
Yeah. Throwing knife only is a good one. So, but you know,
anyway.
it's like I had those days are gone, man, and I'm
Yeah.
so nostalgic about it, and I love them. But it's like, it's the last COD that I played any amount of multiplayer of was Black Ops Cold War, and I had a good time with it. But I was really talking to Devin about this. It's like I haven't been excited about a AAA game like of that caliber since then, because Cold War was seen as like a soft reboot for the series. I mean, they had fucking Ronald Reagan and Blue Monday by New Order in the trailers, and I'm like, all right, man, let's do this. But you know. And it's a cool game, but I've grown up since then.
Yeah. No, it's like, and I only play the campaign, and I have a huge bone to pick with the Call of Duty games now, because like I have been trying to I wanted to replay all the Call of Duty games I missed, and then I wanted to keep up with the series just to play the campaign, which I'm probably not going to be doing anymore. But like sometimes the campaigns are really good. Like Black Ops Cold War's campaign is really good. Black Ops 6 is the newest one. That campaign is really good too.
People like Infinite Warfare's campaign. Even,
Infinite Warfare's campaign is really fun.
I bought that game fairly recently because I intend on playing the campaign. You know.
Yeah, like and even the 2019 Modern Warfare reboot. A lot of people love that campaign.
Yep.
I
knew
not
that.
one of them.
I knew that people liked it.
I think the
yeah.
second one. I think the oh shit, didn't mean to hit my mic. I think the sequel reboot, whatever, was actually a better campaign. But I digress.
And then the Modern Warfare 3 one was terrible. The like the reboot MW3.
Yeah, that's the one I skipped.
I heard it was awful.
Yeah, I heard it was so bad.
The real MW3 with the Eiffel Tower falling down, that was some big shit, man.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
But anyway, when you get those games now, you download it, right?
Yeah.
It puts like the launch thing onto your system. You go into that, and then it's like, oh, you can't run this shit until you download the update. And then there's this like
and Warzone
gigabyte update, which is Warzone.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. You have to download our battle royale to play the fucking campaign.
I do not give a shit. And this is a minor thing. I understand this. This is such a small gripe that probably nobody else has. I hate how it changes the fucking icon.
Oh no, I'm with you, Brian. You know I'm with you on that.
Because I'm playing Black Ops Cold War. I am not playing Warzone.
I remember that,
Get
on the PS5,
here.
PS4. On the PS4 with Cold War, I was like, the first day that it did that, I was like, "Where's my fucking game?"
It's like it puts this ugly ass 3D render. Like, just no, give me what I paid for, and then you get through all of that shit, right? And I had this issue with Black Ops 6. Because I had this issue with Black Ops 6 and with Cold War. You don't get the fucking campaign. You have to download all that, and then you have to go into the fucking shop and then download 2 campaign packs.
Oh my goodness.
And then if you're like me and thinking, oh, I don't have enough room on my fucking PlayStation, let me delete the multiplayer because that takes up a huge chunk of it. I'm not going to play it. Then you can't play the fucking campaign because that's where the rest of the fucking game is. So then you got to re-download the multiplayer, delete the campaign so it re-downloads fine, then re-download all the campaign stuff, and then you can play it. And then it takes up 200 gigs of your 600 gig PlayStation.
So this is why Dunkey never started Black Ops 6.
Yeah, and what sucks is Black Ops 6 is a really good campaign. I wish that's all I had to pay for and all I had to download. That's it. Like, dude, if they just put the campaign on the disc and it was like $40, I'd buy it.
Well, you know, I have
Modern Warfare 3, like the reboot, even if it sucks.
Yeah. You know, I have only a launch day PS4. So and I've never upgraded the hard drive. So you know what I'm sitting at, man. I'm sitting at 500 gigs only, and I've got, you know, what's that? 12 years of gaming history on that PS4. So do you think I have any fucking room for that?
Yeah, no. And even the PS5 only has 600 usable gigs.
Right.
But yeah, the PS4 I got an external hard drive for that. I got a terabyte external hard drive which I just plug in for all the.
I just when it comes to that, I spend money on that for my computer because of recording. It's like if I'm gonna drop cash for a terabyte hard drive, it's going to my PC.
To be fair, the terabyte hard drive for the PS4 that I got was only $80, which sounds like a lot, but at the same time, terabyte hard drive.
Yeah, I think I paid about $100 for my one that I use for my YouTube shenanigans.
Yeah.
Well, Brian,
anyway,
that was a good rant, man. That was good.
Yeah.
I felt some heat behind that.
Yeah, I got a lot of hatred in me today.
Well, all right. So, what did you think about while taking your break on the toilet?
Well, I thought about many things. Choices gone by.
Yep.
The fact that I didn't pay for the Trails of Cold Steel 1 and 2 limited edition on PS4 when they were $40 when they released. And then had to pay $100 for them when they were later on.
Oh, please. I've always thought about it with this. Okay. Call me naive, but I was always a little interested in the game Devil's Third on the Wii U.
Oh, yeah. The one that,
up to it.
that Game Grumps played, the one with the guy with all the tattoos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rupos Purpos.
Yeah,
they make fun of him for being Russian. And because his actual character is that, where he's like, duh, I kill men. I keep running. Right? Like, straight up. And so anyway, they call him Rupel's Pooples. But I was, even before Game Grumps, I was always interested in that release because it was made by I forget the guy's name. It was made by some guy who did a lot of other important games. And I think he had a hand in, the Ninja Gaiden games on the Xbox 360 or something. And, that's a great game. So, I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. And, I support, Nintendo, getting behind M-rated games because, I mean, it's cool when they do something that isn't just Mario. But as much as we love Mario, it is cool to see them branch out. And so I really wanted to get that game, but for whatever reason, I just didn't buy it. It came out around the same time as Xenoblade X, so I probably put my money towards that instead. And then it was like, guess what? They only shipped 400 copies of the game to the U.S.
Yeah.
and then they did a reprint of it, but it's still a very expensive game. When it was initially being scalped, it was ridiculous, but then they did more printings of it. But it's still it's a little over $200 now, and maybe even pushing $300. And it's the most expensive Wii U game.
Yeah.
And I always kind of kick myself for not buying it because I was genuinely interested in it. And I know it's a meme and I know it's shitty and it features Rupel's Pooples as the main character, but I was interested in it. And I still am. So.
Yeah. No, it's
I hear you.
Yeah, it's stuff like that, older Pokemon games that I saw and used in stores when I was a kid or younger, not
right?
A kid, but younger, or taking care of the cardboard boxes that shit came in.
Of course,
Wish, I'm still upset. Not cardboard box, but I'm still upset that my freaking label's all torn on my original Kingdom Hearts copy because I just didn't take care of shit as a kid.
Yep.
It's upsetting.
A big one. I actually had a thought of this too. So I was looking at my NES games because, and we can talk, this has to do with emulation too, ultimately. But I was going through my NES games and I looked at the back. I have the Popeye arcade game. I have the black box Popeye on the NES. And I looked at the back of it and it had a sticker that said $2. It said, $1.99 Popeye. And it took me back to when I used to go to Play and Trade, which was a kind of a GameStop competitor for a while. I think they might be fully dead, but anyway, they had retro games. Yeah. I'm sure, because you grew up in the same area as me, so I'm sure you visited one at some point. But it took me back to going to Play and Trade and buying Rad Racer for 75 cents, and it's now if you go to a used game store, Rad Racer's gonna be $5.
Yeah.
Which is it's crazy.
Or you could go to Best Buy or some shit, and they had the bargain bin kind of thing. And you pick out, and it's a greatest hits version of Sly 2, and you're like, what?
It's yeah, exactly. So with the NES games though, so when I started collecting for NES again, I really thought I was going to try and go for a full set or mostly a full set. Obviously, not going to get stadium events. That game's like worth more than a car, but a new car.
Yeah.
I was really trying to get as many games as I could for the system, and but then that was before I even started the YouTube channel, and my needs and you can probably speak to this too a little bit. My needs and desires with collecting have changed so much because of having YouTube channels, and so now what I'm doing is I basically cut my NES collection in half, maybe even more than that. It still takes up a whole shelf. First
Yeah.
of all, when I say that, it still takes up a whole damn shelf. But I cut my NES collection way down, and I'm selling off a lot of the cartridges, and I'm keeping the ones that I really care about. I'm keeping the Mega Mans. I'm keeping Darkwing Duck. I'm keeping like Metroid, Contra, like the big boys, Zeldas, right?
Yeah.
I'm keeping those, but pretty much anything in between, I'm selling off, and I plan to buy this thing. Retro USB makes it, I believe. It's called the AVS, which is basically a modern NES, and it kind of looks like the original one, but looks a little more like a spaceship. It has 4 controller ports built in, so you don't need the 4-score accessory. You don't need the multi-tap. And it natively or whatever it plays the games in HDMI, and I think you can power it with a damn USB cable. Like it's so like low power, and it just makes so much more sense for me to have something like that and an EverDrive than to try and get every single NES game. But so the EverDrives, I'm sure you know what they are. It's basically it's like every game on one cartridge,
Yeah.
and you can get some pretty souped up EverDrives with like a lot of features and crap. And I believe the Angry Video Game Nerd even commented on it, where he has like a gargantuan amount of NES games, but every time he records for videos, he just records off an EverDrive, and because it's so much easier. And it's like, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. So I'm really just gonna keep the games that I may have bought a lot of games, like a bundle on eBay that had, um, you know, let's say like Castlevania 3 and a bunch of other shit. Well, and I kept all of it. Well, now I'm going to sell off all the other shit and just keep my Castlevania 3.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if how, since you're more, do more modern games, how the YouTube channel has impacted your collecting side of the hobby as
Yeah.
well, but it has certainly had a humongous impact on mine.
Yeah. I think for me, it's just slightly increased it because like I've always been of the idea of like I only really collect games that I am interested in or care about, like games that I will play or
Yeah.
are a part of the same series, right? Like if like for I mean, Trail's a bad example because I like all those games, but
Yeah.
like Call of Duty, right? Like I still might
Yeah.
get on sale Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 even though it's not on the fucking disc. Like if it's like like $5 or something, just because I have all the
Right.
rest of them. Like right, like it's like something like that, you know. Like I would be more willing to get it just to complete the collection, even
Yes,
if I'm
yes.
not really interested in playing it.
If it's the one gap, and
Yeah.
and that's kind of what I did with the Rio 2016 Olympic Games, where it's like the video that I want to do about Mario and Sonic, it literally doesn't fit. But if that's
Yeah.
the only one that I'm missing, I should buy it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's stuff like that, or like I also get I don't know if this is like from me doing more YouTube stuff because it's like I like my YouTube channel isn't really reviews and stuff, so that's probably why it's a little
Right.
different. Like I just talk about things that I like in games, so I don't that doesn't really necessitate
Yeah.
me like buying things that I wouldn't already be interested in or trying them out.
Right.
It has like
Right.
I have like justified certain purchases by saying, "Oh, I might do a YouTube video about this," even though I know the universe knows, everybody knows, I ain't doing a video about that shit.
That's where we're different.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm buying all the Mario and Sonics because I'm doing a video about them.
It's like I try to justify that because I was like I wanted to play through, all the Assassin's Creed games because like that was like one of my favorite series when I was younger, and I skipped out on a
Right.
lot of them. Like I missed like after Unity,
there's a lot of games.
I just fell off the series. And then I was like, and I
Yeah.
missed. I didn't play Rogue because like that was the one that was like a dual, like a not a dual release, like a simultaneous release with Unity. It was like the
Oh yeah,
last
yeah,
gen
yeah, yeah.
version and shit. Um,
Yep.
and I was like, you know what?
Strange,
Let me
strange release for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
let me go through the whole series again because I haven't played a Assassin's Creed game in years, man. I remember loving these games. So I went through the whole like fairly recently. I went through like the whole series. Completely caught up on the games that I missed. Replayed a lot of the older games. Found out that my feelings of distaste for certain older games that people are now like, oh, when you compare them to the newer ones, they're pretty good. No, they were still valid. Those feelings of
Yeah.
I don't like Assassin's Creed 3 because it's a broken mess, still valid. um, and then my
Yeah,
feelings of,
I've-
man, I really like Assassin's Creed 2 and Assassin's Creed 4. Those games are still heat.
Yep.
That's also still valid. And then like some of the newer ones
Yep.
are still pretty good too. Like so I've learned to appreciate some of those ones, but I did try to justify that purchase because it was like this was back before I started doing video game collecting, video game. Oh, wow, I don't even know what I just said there. Video game collecting. Um,
I kind of understood it.
yeah. And so this was like I did like a digital purchase. It was like the whole Assassin's Creed series on sale for like
Oh, nice.
PS4.
Yeah.
And but the sale was still like $100, like $120, and I was like,
Well, yeah, because there's a lot of games. I mean, Steam does stuff like
Yeah.
that, where it's like buy the Assassin's Creed Mega Ass in bundle, and it's
yeah,
like,
it's like
oh,
and it
okay.
cuts it out. And you're like $200. That's a lot. Like you see like the line through the $480 mark. You're like, oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, yeah. It's like I got it. Yeah,
Yeah,
And with my favorite game of all time, American Truck Simulator, it's
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
buy the Mega DLC bundle, $300.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy crap.
But yeah, like, so like I try to justify the person, be like, maybe I'll do a YouTube video about Assassin's Creed, and then I like wrote a script.
Right.
I might go back to it, like revisit it. But I scrapped the script of doing like a ranking for all the Assassin's Creed games because I tell you what, the first half of that video is incredibly negative. The first half
Oh
of that
yeah,
script
yeah.
was
When you're talking
real
about
bad.
the bad Assassin's Creeds versus the good Assassin's
And
Creeds, I would imagine
what's
there's a
funny,
lot of yeah.
What's funny is I think my definition of the like I have a very definitive bottom three Assassin's Creed games, the ones that I do
hear
not
it.
like.
What are
Three Unity and Rogue. There's the three that I do not like.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I think
those are
Unity
ones
was
that
so hated.
I think those are the ones that people nowadays are like, no, those are so good. How do you hate those? And then they would put like Valhalla, Odyssey in the hated category. I think Valhalla wasn't that bad. I think it was just that and Mirage. I think like I had opposite opinions on because I was affected by everybody else where they were like Valhalla sucks. And I played it.
All I
Like, "Not that
remember
bad."
was people dogging on Unity.
Yeah.
Like, what happened? Like how did
So,
that
like,
change?
Everybody, a big thing about it was that it was full of glitches. It was like unfinished.
Yes,
and then
yes.
they updated it after a lot of updates. And I heard the general consensus now is that it's actually playable. It's like actually in what it should be. I replayed it recently, like a year ago. It's still full of glitches, like game breaking glitches. So like,
Really?
their mileage
Wow.
might vary.
Yeah.
My issues with it though aren't the glitches. Like my issues with that and Assassin's Creed 3 aren't like, oh, the game is like it doesn't run well. I think it has potential and it just squanders it. Like I think those are some of the coolest settings in Assassin's Creed, the American Revolution and then the French
Yeah.
Revolution. Like Paris, Unity is probably one of the best looking Assassin's Creed games now. Like still, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
Like Paris is so well done, and then like
Right.
like going around the colonies and all that, and like the wilderness Assassin's Creed 3, great. It's just that like there's certain aspects of the game that I can't like. If you took it out of the game, it would be a completely different game by that point. It's
Right.
like Unity has it's the beginning of the RPG mechanics, and I think it does it really fucking poorly.
Oh yeah.
With like it kind of because it has those black box missions, which are really good additions. I love those, like in that and Syndicate,
Right.
because it allows you to like really like play around, kind of like go your own way for the assassinations and all that, do like different strategies, but you can be like completely cut off from certain options just because you don't have the correct like weapon or cloak equipped. Like oh, you went for the gunslinger build, can't pick this door. Like it's like what? Why?
Weird.
You're not stealthy enough
That's
to get past
weird,
these
yeah.
guards. It's like that shit. That's the stuff that bothers me on like a fundamental level from that game. And to take it out, they'd have to rework the game. And then also, I think like the story is like it's a missed opportunity because they did a lot of cool things. They set up a lot of cool stuff with the relationship between the Templars and the Assassins, especially like the historical context of that game. And then it just went nowhere because they focused on the romance, which was like I feel like kind of missed potential.
A cash grab.
No, not
Yeah.
cash grab. Like it was just missed potential. Like they were trying to do two things. I think they realized they had to
Right.
prioritize one thing over the other, and the thing they prioritized over the other, I think, just didn't work out. And then 3, I've already
Yeah.
talked about on this podcast. I think it's just the stealth is broken, the combat is broken, the
Well, we
climbing is
encountered
broken.
that because my girlfriend wanted to play 3 because she was interested in the premise, and we were playing it, and I was like, I don't remember this game sucking this much. Like, because I'm used to Assassin's Creed 2, because that's pretty much the only one I ever really played. And I was like, I don't remember this game being this bad. And then when you told me, you're like, yeah, 3's awful, by the way. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Makes sense.
It's like the combat isn't health based. It's combo based. So like the only way you can kill
Yeah.
somebody is by finishing a combo on them. And
Yeah, and it's
that
like,
game-
bro,
and
that
Assassin's
doesn't
Creed has-
fly.
Assassin's Creed has historically the worst lock-on system I think in any 3D game. It's like a suggestion. It's not even a lock-on.
Yeah,
So
seriously.
you just be swapping between guys, not killing them, and then
So it's the opposite of Ocarina of Time.
Yeah. And then the which is a game that came out way before and figured it out.
Yeah, 15 years, 20 years before. Yeah.
And then like the climbing's broken because you got like you don't have the climb like the jump button anymore, so it's just whatever your character feels like doing, he goes. Even if you want to go
Oh,
up,
yeah.
you'll just be like, nah, I'm going down today. It's more frustrating like that one where it's like the bonus or whatever the full synchronization requirement to like not touch the
Yeah.
water, and you're like, okay, do not touch the water. I'm pointing the analog stick in the direction of the stick I want you to jump to, and he's just like, I want to go for a swim, and just goes in the water, and you have like no control over it. It sucks. And then the
Goodness.
stealth has that, like every other stealth game has has 3 stages, right? You have
Right.
nobody knows you're there, or anonymous stage or whatever, and then the suspicion stage is like typically like the yellow arrow or whatever, and then
The old
alert,
must
like
must
the
have
red.
been the wind.
Yeah, like, and the suspicion thing is supposed to be there for, yo, you're about to get caught, hide, and that is
Yeah.
every stealth game, every Assassin's Creed game,
Yes.
before and after as well. But for some reason in 3, they
Right.
were like, if someone's suspicious of you, you can't hide. The whole game
Right.
is about social stealth. Like the whole series is about social stealth and like hiding in hay bales, and you can't do that shit for some reason in 3. You get
Right.
somebody gets suspicious, you go into the hay bale and he jumps right out. Anyway, enough of my Assassin's Creed 3 rant. And then Rogue, I just think is
Yeah,
like
no,
it's
it's all
the
good.
most. Rogue is like, again, it was like missed potential with the story. I hated all the characters. I hated the protagonist. The whole concept of the story is a misunderstanding, which I think it would have been better if it was like an actual conflict of interests between like his idea of like the assassins, and they actually explored the hypocrisy in the organizations. That would have been more interesting instead of it being legitimately people not talking to each other. And then also
Right.
the Assassin's Creed, I think the best aspect of Assassin's Creed has always been the historical side of things. Like I know people are like,
Of course.
oh, they've always moved away from it. It's like, yeah, of course. You gotta like, of course, it's gonna make Leonardo da Vinci use the God orb or whatever. Like they got to do it for story reasons. But Rogue is like the only one where they like. I still think they're really good with like recreating locations and stuff. Valhalla's a little but they've still been pretty good with like recreating locations at these time periods. And then for some godforsaken reason, Rogue takes place in a completely fictional river valley cutting through Virginia.
Oh. That's so strange. That's
Because
even
they
I know
wanted to
that's really,
reuse.
like, weird. Yeah.
They wanted to reuse the Assassin's Creed 4 naval combat, which I mean
Right,
they could
right.
have, because they have a whole other section of the map which is just the North Atlantic, which worked fine. But
Right.
then they were like, we got to add in a river valley. Now Mount Vernon is an island. Yeah, it's weird.
That's
Okay, yeah, that's it for my Assassin's Creed rant. But yeah,
That's
maybe
fine.
I'll go
I
back
asked
to be
for
more
it, so
positive about it in a video because I don't like to be too negative.
you
about
could
stuff.
just kind of quickly go over them, like the bottom of the list, and just not just be
Number
like, look,
13,
I have a lot.
Assassin's Creed 3, and it's just the me just standing there.
Yeah, or just
Like
you
blinking.
diving into the water when you don't want to, and
Yeah,
then you
just
cut away from it. It's like, if you know, you know. You know?
Just a cut off, fuck, and then just number 12, Assassin's
Yeah.
Creed Unity.
Exactly.
It's I'll probably go back. I'll probably revisit it at some point. But
Yeah.
enough about me and ranting about Assassin's Creed. You want to talk about how it's actually like on a little bit of good news. It looks like a lot of like game developers are at least making an effort to try to bring over their back catalog. In at least
And
recent
what do you
generations.
mean by that? What have you heard? You're the reporter of this group by all
Well,
means.
it's not really
so
like
what have
any
you
newer
heard?
news, but it was sparked because like I don't know if you're in the know on this, but Kingdom Hearts is going through some
probably
some
not.
shit right now where
Uh-huh.
they've had so the TLDR of this right is that Kingdom Hearts,
Uh-huh.
a very story heavy series, it is known for being interconnected. A lot of people make the whole assumption that it's confusing when really the story
Yeah.
is not that confusing. If you just play all the games and pay attention to the story, you're fine, right? The big issue with
Now,
it was
where in this confusing story does the game that's called 333 and a third days or whatever, where does that fit in,
358.
Brian?
it takes place in the year between.
Continue.
It takes place in the year between Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2, and that's where 358 comes from because it's minus the 7 days or 6 days or whatever that as the start of Kingdom Hearts 2 to make a full year, and
Uh-huh.
over 2 is for the two characters in the game. Anyway,
Thank
the-
you.
Yeah, no
Thank you
problem.
for filling me in.
It makes sense when you play it, although I still think the naming convention is awful.
I'll always make fun of that game.
Yeah,
always.
Even
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts fans are like, yeah, that one. The naming convention for these games is dog shit. Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Birth by Sleep, a fragmentary passage.
I don't know, man.
Like, no,
I'll take Mega Man
the
5
funniest-
and then Mega
yeah,
Man 6.
the
Like, how about
funniest
that?
one to me-
But-
The funniest one to me is
Uh-huh.
Kingdom Hearts. Like, you can tell the developers are in on the joke because when Kingdom Hearts
Right.
3 starts, you have like this little prologue section. And at the end of the first cutscene, when they typically do like the title card, or like Kingdom Hearts 3, it comes up and says Kingdom Hearts 2.9, like very clearly.
Oh my
as a
gosh,
joke.
really?
Like, yeah.
That is so funny. That is so funny. It says 2.9. Oh my gosh. I did not know that. That is very
Yeah,
funny.
it's really funny. But the yeah. Anyway, and on the topic of like title things, something I really like that Dragon Quest and Ys do, which I think like no other series, at least long running series, does, is that they do both numbers and a subtitle. I think series just do one or the other. I just think that's a
yeah. What is E7? E7.
well, E7 is the only one.
It's
that's
just called E
E7.
E7.
That is the only one.
How about E8?
Every other, E8
That's so
is-
funny.
Yeah.
The only one I owned was E7.
E8 is Lacrimosa of Donna.
Nah, there we go. Donna.
Yeah, great character.
Why isn't it Donna?
No, not that kind of Donna.
Donna. Like,
Donna.
my girl Donna.
Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah,
Talking about your friend named Donna.
Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
Like like a big contention for that, like because like again like in order to understand the story, all you need to do is play the games, pay attention, and then you're fine.
Right.
But the problem was they were spread across all these systems. So like you could play a bunch of them on PS2. There was one on the
kidding.
Game Boy Advance. There was 2 on the DS. There's one on the 3DS. One on the PSP, and they were all integral to the story. So when in the
kidding.
lead up to Kingdom Hearts 3, Square made a real effort in the PS3 and PS4 era to bring these games over onto one system.
Right.
So you had like all these collections. There was the 1.5 collection, the 2.5 collection, and then 2.8.
I do
which
know.
is
I do
like-
know that. Yeah.
which is like-
2.8. Yeah.
Not only like because that one had Dream Drop Distance was like the only one that they were missing still a port, and then it had 0.2, which was like this it was like this scrapped concept for a sequel to Birth by Sleep.
If you put 2.8 and 0.2 together, do you
you make
just
3.
get Kingdom Hearts 3?
You get
Yeah.
it acted as like a tech demo for Kingdom Hearts 3. Like that was it was like reworked as a tech demo for Kingdom Hearts 3 and kind of like a lead into that game.
Goodness.
Because the end of that game is legitimately the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 3. And then there's a key back covers like a movie to tie in, and this is where the issue comes in, the mobile game, because that was like the only thing they didn't bring over yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's where my issues lie with Kingdom Hearts, is because they've been very pushing into mobile,
right.
and almost antithesis to this idea of bringing over all the games, because the mobile games are very story heavy, and like honestly,
you gotta love a story heavy
Cross,
mobile game.
it's actually a pretty good story. And like,
I'm
I
sure,
actually
but
like, it's a very interesting
it being
concept.
on mobile.
Yeah, it's a very interesting concept because like it started with Kingdom Hearts Key, which is this web browser game only in Japan, right? And when they brought it over to the West, they made it a mobile game called Unchained Key, which was later rebranded Union Cross when they added in new content that was like, and I think it was a really interesting way of going about it, because it was technically a sequel and a retelling. Like it was like your character kind of like their memories being recounted up to like the new shit. So like, and then like when all the shit starts to go down, or what happened originally in Key, some stuff is like different, and you're like, oh, something weird here. So I think that was like a cool way of going about it. But still, they made this push to like put all these games on a one system, and then they completely in antithesis to that also push all these games on mobile devices, which is worse in my opinion, because like if I wanted to play Days back in the day, all I had to do was get a DS and a copy of Days. I could still play it years after the fact.
Mobile games are so wishy-washy with support. Like
can't.
They can just
you cannot play Union Cross anymore. It's gone.
Right.
They legit took it off the stores.
Exactly what I was getting at. Yep.
That story,
I didn't even know.
I
knew you were going to say it. Yep.
The only way you can experience that story is through people who have compiled on YouTube, and people have done a good job. People have like voice acted it and everything, like fan projects and all that, which is cool.
Holy
and
fuck,
great.
dude! The fact that it relies on that is crazy.
The fact that it relies on that is crazy. That's the only way you can. And like key back cover, which is like it's like a retelling of certain events from that mobile game, but from the perspective of like the higher ups in it, so not from your character's perspective. It was like it was the behind the scenes kind of thing, and like what went down. So like and that was like important information for Kingdom Hearts 3. I understand why they did that, but still, to get like the full story of that game, the only way you can experience is on YouTube
videos.
And
oh my god!
So they were after Melody of Memories, like the rhythm game that came out, which is actually pretty fun. I actually quite like that one because Kingdom Hearts music's pretty good.
You gotta love a good rhythm game.
Yeah,
you gotta love a good rhythm game, not named Wii Music.
Yeah, but like that one, it did have story elements in it, although it was like a cutscene at the end that was important. But other than that, and when that came out, and then like Kingdom Hearts Anniversary, they were like, all right, here's our roadmap for the series' future. They're like, we had like 4 games planned after Kingdom Hearts 3 currently. It was Melody of Memory, which is already out. We're finishing Dark Road, which is another mobile game that it's like a prequel storytelling about the main villain of the previous games. They're like, we're finishing that. That story's going to be done. And then we're doing another mobile game and a Pokemon Go type GPS AR game called Missing Link.
Oh, man.
And then we're making Kingdom Hearts 4. And like an actual
oh my god.
And so what happened recently was, mind you, this was like 3 years
ago. The lore of the Pokemon Go-esque game.
Mind you, this was like 3 years ago, right? That we got this news. And then like we got like bits and pieces of Missing Link news, and it was important. It was legitimately the missing link between the other mobile games and the rest of the series. So like it was gonna be really important to the story. And the only thing we got was like there was like a closed beta test or something like that, or an open beta test, and then like they would like occasionally be like it's on the way, and then just dead silence for like a whole year. And then very recently they announced we don't feel confident enough that we can support this long term, so they canceled it. People are upset because
Uh-huh.
like major story stuff, and then legitimately, not even 24 hours later, they're like, "By the way, here's some Kingdom Hearts 4 screenshots," because I'm pretty sure they were like, "We gotta give them something."
Oh man, yeah.
And it does
Man,
look
that is
pretty. It does look pretty
brutal.
far in development for Kingdom Hearts 4. But like, anyway, this is just to prompt the idea because I thought back to like that stuff where I was just like because part of me, I'm sad for the developers because it from what I know, it looked like Missing Link was finished, so they did like
Right.
work a long time and work very hard on it. And I'm also sad for the people who were excited for the story and all that. And then on the other hand,
Right.
I wasn't very interested in the game. I was just probably gonna watch like a YouTube compilation. The only thing I'm upset about is losing the version of Dearly Beloved, which was really good. That we got was like a choral version of it. It was really good.
Uh-huh.
So like the music, I'm upset about that. We lost some Yoko Shimomura music. Always a tragedy. But then
Yes.
the I'm also just like I'm kind of part of me is kind of glad because I don't like this direction that the series is moving in, and I hope they've realized we can't sustain this. So let's keep them all in the same system again, because again, that
Right.
was such a good idea to push everything onto one system, and then
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
at the same fucking time, like 2.5 came out,
Right.
they announced 2.8, and then they're like, by the way, here's the mobile game. um, yeah,
Yeah, that seems pretty backwards, and I mean, you know,
it's
the
one step
theme
forward,
of
two
the
steps
theme of
back.
today is the theme of
Preservation.
today is bad business
Yeah,
decisions.
bad business decisions. But yeah, so it just got me thinking about like collections and stuff, and like there's some like developers that like have really been making an effort to like bring their shit. Like you can play every Ace Attorney game on the Switch, and
Oh
that was
yeah,
pretty
and on
scattered.
Steam,
Yeah, and on Steam, like they made a huge effort to bring them all over. Even Ace
which
Attorney
is great.
Investigations, which was I believe
Yep.
Japan only for a while. Which is another thing.
Yeah,
that,
well,
like,
and I mean the original games were GBA Japan only.
Yeah.
You know, like
and then like yeah, and then and even like Kingdom Hearts, the ones that were on the 2.5 and 1.5 collections, they were the final mix versions for Japan only, so they brought those
Right,
over finally.
right.
Another one,
Yep.
gotta talk about Trails, but they finally caught up.
Gotta do it.
They finally caught up after so many years. My entire time with this, the entire time that the series has been in the West, we've been behind, and this
Right.
fall we will finally be caught up, and it's seeming like doing worldwide releases from then on, which is
Yeah.
insane as someone who's followed the series for this long. This was not even
Yeah.
this was like a pipe dream. People would laugh at you for suggesting this, like not even
Right,
3 years
right.
ago. Like they made a
Well,
genuine
and
effort.
then something else too. Just I don't know if they're necessarily catching up on the backlog, but just things like the Fire Emblem. You know, I'm not a fan of the series by any means, really, but just knowing how much bigger like something like that has become.
Oh, yeah,
Whereas
with,
like
with,
the
like,
first
Awakening.
fucking. The first 7 games or 6 games were Japan only. Like that series is as old as the Super Famicom, and meanwhile, it was like everybody in America knew what that series was because of Melee.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and it's like yeah, and then like Awakening saved the series, like from dying.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like stuff like that, and like Persona or like Atlas used to be considered a niche company. Now they're like one of the bigger
Right.
JRPG developers
Yep.
that people know about. Again, like on Falcom, they have made this insane fucking push with like NIS and some other publishers now, where like legitimately, I think it was what between 2022, so fall 2022 and 2023, in less than a year, they released 4 Trails games.
Right.
Like NIS, because they released Trails from Zero, Trails to Azure, Trails into Reverie, and then Nayuta, which is like the spinoff. And then we released that all in
Right.
less than a year. And then
Yeah, that's
now
crazy.
they're also this year they're releasing 4. Well, not NIS. It's only 2 that are NIS, but two different publishers. But they're releasing 4 more Trails games to catch up now. It's the Trails to Daybreak 2, Trails Beyond the Horizon, which are like the 2 games that we were behind on, and then the Trails in the Sky remake, which is the first worldwide release, simultaneous, and then East
Nice.
versus Trails in the Sky, which is like this spin-off fighting game that was on the PSP that we never got.
Yeah, yeah. Dude, and you know why, Brian? because these publishers have found your YouTube channel.
Yeah,
they say we got to do it for this guy.
They saw that picture. I don't know if you saw it in my Steelbook collection video. They saw that picture of my whole Trails collection, which like legitimately,
Yep.
If I get any more games for it, I'm gonna have to zoom out the 0.5 to fit them all in frame.
Right. Yeah. So they said, you know what? If there's one guy we got to do it for, it's this man right here.
Yeah, there's a bigger Falcom fan on Twitter that I'm mutuals with, and he's great. Love him. It's great.
That's funny. That's funny. You guys are number.
Yeah, shout out to Nine. He's great. He does like all. He's like anytime I see him, he's like gifting people Falcom games to push the agenda. It's great.
Yeah, right. You guys are number 1 and 2 then on the Falcom fan base.
Yeah, it's like, and it's like not only just Falcom and stuff, but like I feel like some other public, like even like Square Enix has gone to the back cat, like Live Alive. Like that game is
dude, big time.
Only Super Famicom, and they were like,
yep. And I own it on the Switch. Yep.
I think that was that Team Monster that did the remake for that.
I don't know, but
like
my
did Octopath and Bravely Default.
It has to be. It looks the exact same.
Yeah,
it has to be.
Because I feel like they're making like a huge, like they're probably one of the, at least for me, like whenever like if Team Osno is announcing a new game, I'm locked in unless it's the fucking Game Key card remaster of Bravely Default. But
I sold my original Octopath because I was like, I'm never gonna beat this.
it's actually really good. I wouldn't recommend doing like the true boss, which is actually like a super boss. I wouldn't recommend doing that, but everything else is really good. It's not, it's like it seems overwhelming, but once you like
I plan more to play Live Alive.
Oh yeah, Live Alive.
I bought I bought that game and I was like, I'm gonna sell Octopath now because I bought this.
Live Alive is so fucking good. It's like one of those games I was surprised by how good it was.
And I don't know if I probably told this before. But the story of me buying that game is, I saw it in like the Target that's near us, and it was at the very bottom of the shelf, bottom corner, not a soul looking at it, right? Like your foot is kicking it as you turn the corner, right? And it was $50, and they had like 2 copies of it sitting behind the damn glass. And then one day I walk in there, and boom, price cut, $25 new, and I was like, I'm getting it. And I have to go find the employee to be like, yeah, that one at the very bottom there, that one.
Speaking of Target, it is a shame because like I walked through my local Target recently after not having been there in a while, and I walked to like the electronics section just to see what they had. Fucking
it's
barren,
pretty sad,
dude.
Isn't it? It's fucking sad.
Barren. It's upsetting. It's like 2K.
You can't even
Call of
buy
Duty, and then like and then just like a fucking picture of Mario. Like that's it.
Yep. And then they have I don't know about you, but the Targets in my area, they have the Mario on the flagpole, and there's literally a sign on it that says, "Do not ask store employees if you can take this home."
Well, then don't ask. Just take it home.
Seriously. Yeah, right. Oh, okay, I'll just take it.
Yeah.
It's literally like there's some like it's like a known thing that there's like a Mario on a flagpole that is in electronic sections of like Target and Best Buy, and the Target employees have no control over if they can like get rid of it. And the thing is, it's very popular because of the internet to be like, hey, did you know if you ask GameStop employees for promotional shit when they're about to throw them out, then they'll give it to you, right? And it's like, have I done that? Absolutely. Right, and it's like, yes, I did that in 2013 with Pokemon X and Y. But anyway, and so that's why they have to put a sign on it, because the Mario on the flagpole is so cool. But the rumor mill or the word on the street is that like the Target employees cannot choose what happens to it. It has to be somebody from Nintendo that tells you if you can have it or not. And so that's why it just says like, don't ask about this on the damn thing.
Just go with a ski mask and just break the glass and steal the Mario on the flagpole.
Seriously. Well, dude, it's so easy because he's just on the shelf, and you're walking down the aisles, and you're walking past like fucking towels and sheets and stuff, and then all of a sudden you see the start of the electronics section as Mario on the flagpole, and it's like, bro, I'm about to just go heist it.
And like
that,
you're like wearing a jacket in like 80-degree weather. I don't know what the fuck it's like over there in Zona, But
dude, it's in the hundreds.
yeah,
now.
like
Come on,
you're wearing like a
80?
full-on
It's in
winter
the
jacket,
hundreds.
and you've got like just this Mario flagpole sticking out because you don't want to fully zip it up. They're like, sir, you got anything you want to pay for? And you're just like, nah, I couldn't find what I was looking for.
No. No.
He said no. Is that a Mario
Damn.
sticking out of here? Yeah, why are you looking there?
Yeah. Why you pocket watching, bro?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, no. So it's like the funniest thing ever. But dude, the you're so right. The electronics section in things
They
places
used to have
like
full
Target
aisles.
and,
Now
you
they're not
know.
even half.
Yep. I
They used
know.
to have full. They
It's
used to have
sad.
like two full aisles for like Nintendo, two full aisles for like I bought when we were in college. I still remember this. Like I was going through Target to pick up some
Yep.
shit for school, and I remember walking.
And
by
that
being
Target
like,
that was in a very small space downtown where we went to school. Yeah.
No. It was a Target by my house.
Oh.
Like before we went up.
Oh, by your house.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, like,
because I have some stuff to say about the downtown one too. But
Oh yeah,
anyway.
that's small ass Target. Yeah, the one right by good
Still
old
had a big
jarred
game
sauce
selection.
and ravioli.
Yeah, dude, me too. But it still had a big game selection.
Oh, it did.
Like
I didn't
straight
go
up.
there. Oh no, it did.
Yes.
Because
That's-
I bought a Smash Bros Ultimate from there.
You know, that's where I bought Knack 2, right?
Oh, you did? Nice.
Yes, I bought Knack 2 there. I had to ask them to get me that shit out of the case. And
the
then they
Target
go,
employee
"Do
looked
you
at you
want
like, are you sure? They made you sign a waiver.
And then they have the balls when you bring it up to the counter to go, "Do you want the protection plan?" Are you fucking kidding me?
If this game, you looked directly into their eyes and were like, listen to me. Listen to me real close. If this game breaks, that'll be the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah, seriously. If I trip on my way out of here and this fucking thing snaps in half, I'll be happy about it.
It'll be like a curse has been lifted from you.
Seriously, it's like exercising a damn demon. But,
But yeah.
anyway, yeah. So Target near your house. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
I found it was a Ocarina of Time for the 3DS.
Very nice.
And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, they still have
Well,
a 3DS
dude.
section. And
Yeah,
but
that-
now,
first of all,
now
yeah.
they barely have a fucking Switch section.
So and like the Target where I live now, it's like they have like a copy of with like an older COD like Vanguard. Like that's pretty old, right?
Yeah.
And it's like sealed for the PS4 for $60, COD Vanguard, and I'm like, what? And that's like,
Well, that's I
you know,
almost had
and-
like I almost flipped out because I misread the title. That was my fault. But I looked and it was a PS4 copy of Black Ops 6, but I thought it said Black Ops 2. And I was like,
Oh,
and it
yeah,
said,
oh my
it
God.
said $70, and I was like, what?
yeah, that
Like
no,
almost
but
out
that would
loud.
have
I
been
was
pretty
like,
cool.
oh, it's
though.
a 6. It's a 6. It's good.
Yeah, everybody, it's okay, everybody.
False alarm.
Yelling it. Oh my god,
It's a 6, not a 2.
that
We're
would've been
good.
So funny. It's so funny.
Put your
but yeah,
put your pocket knife away. We're good. It's fine.
it's barren. It's barren, and but for me, the real experience when I was like a little kid. So the store, I've told you about it before. There's like a retro store in my hometown that I really like, and I went to when I went home last, and I'm like, yes, I'm patronizing them.
Dildos.com.
Exactly. But prior to that, there was in my, even closer to my house, there was a GameStop, but it was an EB Games when I was like little,
EB
and
Games, still remember that shit, man.
my whole childhood. I mean, I remember buying Mario Tennis on the N64 there, and then I remember buying, going to midnight releases for Call of Duty games there. Like it was like, my whole damn childhood, and it was a chill GameStop, and like the guys there knew me and my dad very well, and it was awesome. And the store closed when I was like a senior in high school, and it was like very much so like an end to childhood kind of thing. So that was my big jam when I was a kid. Definitely not a place like Target or Walmart.
Yeah, I'm trying to like remember. Was there something called like FYI or something like that?
FYE. They still exist, dude.
They do? Because I remember
Yes.
that's where I bought Sly 2 back in the day.
But anyway, if you want to cut back in from the doxing here,
Yeah.
the FYE was very popular in a lot of the malls that me and you probably both grew up
Yeah.
going to. And I went to one of my childhood malls not too long ago, maybe a year or two ago, and like the FYE, like everything was gone from when I was a kid, except the damn FYE was still in business. It's so funny. The store is so different. I remember.
See if they still have PS2 games.
They used to have like rows and rows and rows of CDs and stuff. Now it's like a very small section. Now they mostly sell like Goku Energy Booster, you know, like stuff like that. Yeah.
How,
That's a lot of crap.
Would do that shit too, where it's just like you can buy these packs of Kirby
Goku
bars,
energy drink,
and you're like,
yeah.
Well, I came here to buy Twilight Princess on the GameCube.
Yeah. I came here actually to scour your dwindling Wii U section and see if you have anything on the cheap.
I got so lucky with that though. Like I think it was like around, like it was right after like a lot of the lockdowns stopped for COVID. So maybe like 2021.
Yeah. Right.
And I like went to the GameStop. They were like, "Oh, we're doing like this thing of like we're like they're doing like certain stores are putting in like retro sections." Right. We're like one of those stores. So I was like, "Oh, like where's your shelf?" And it was like this little tiny section. So like at that point, like a little tiny section of
where's your shelf? Games. You're not gonna have anything on it after I'm done.
And then I like walked up. I walked up to, and I was like, and first off, you know, I had to contend with the fact that the retro section was Wii and GameCube games, and
yeah,
or like
who are you calling retro, motherfucker?
Yeah, I was like, okay, you damn kids. Like, I don't know Mario like I do. But the like I went to their shelf and I was like, oh, what is this? A full case or CIB of Super Mario Galaxy 2, New Super Mario Bros. Wii, and The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess on the Wii, because the one that I have was that the ones where GameCube would lose the fucking case and they put it in their own stupid case.
Oh,
you know, that's the one that I had for many years. So I was oh, all of this for like $10 a pop. Sign me up. So I just
that's crazy.
I just grabbed all three of those shit and I was like, these ones. And he's like, oh, do you want to think about it? Nope. Put them on.
Nope, not thinking about anything. I'm not thinking, man. I'm on autopilot.
Slapping the credit card on the counter.
Seriously.
Ring me up, my good man.
Yeah, oh my god.
I gotta, dude. If I had way less social anxiety, do you know how I would talk with people?
Well,
I would have.
I don't know if you remember me.
I would put that voice on all the time, just like, oh, it's a fine day out here.
You know, when I would get drunk, I would do some shit like that.
No, but I remember me getting carded twice on my 22nd birthday, and then you not getting carded at all.
And I hadn't even lost my hair at that point.
The funniest thing was, like, the guy who carded me at the counter is right across from the guy who carded me to get into the place. He saw me get carded.
Yeah, no, but when I would get drunk, one of my favorite moments of me being me was I was in a McDonald's at college, and it was, you know, like the first week of school. Not like my first week. Obviously, I was like a junior or a senior because I was legal. I was of age, but it was the first week of the school year, and we, you know, me and the roommates had a party, whatever, and we were pretty good. And
no alcohol involved though. You guys were completely sober.
No, we were far from sober, and there was a McDonald's not too far from our apartment, and it was packed. You know, first weekend of the year, of course, packed. And I placed my order, 10-piece McNuggets, sweet and sour sauce, obviously. Not going to get anything other than that. And I'm waiting in this, like, you know, sea of people. When they call out the number on my ticket, I throw the receipt up in the air, like holding onto it still, but I, like, throw my arm way up in the air and I scream, "Jackpot!" Walked up to the counter and grabbed my shit and left.
Dude, that college student behind that thing was like, on like the end of his shift was probably just like, oh fucking god.
Yeah. Oh my god, this guy. And then you know, the cop in there is like, yeah, show me some ID. No, I actually, that never happened to me. I was never like, despite being like, clearly intoxicated a few times in public, a cop was never like, hey pal, are you of age? Like that never happened to me.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, thank you all so much for tuning in to this lovely 11th edition of the DG podcast. And we will see you in June for our 1-year anniversary of Yapping Away. Yeah. So we'll see you next time, folks.
See ya.